because it's all anonymous posting, right?
Yeah, it's all anonymous.
But the comments put your name.
You can be anonymous. You don't have to.
You don't have to be.
You don't have to post.
So if you want to be real spicy, you put your name. And welcome to a very special Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hey.
I'm John, by the way. It says so right here.
Me too. I'm Crystal.
You're not John too.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not John too.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, you see this great sign that we have here.
Wait, hold on. Can we just talk about welcome from Crazy Laser Dad Freezer?
Yeah, from the freezer. He hangs meat in here. Just to
bodies.
Just to my right over here. You guys can't see at home, but there are racks of meat. Just here. Yeah.
Pig.
Yeah, it's freezing.
It's freezing.
I think he did this to us on purpose.
I think so too. He said this is warm to him because he's usually here in the middle of the night.
I don't think so. I think he's lying.
I think so too.
Where is he? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He left.
He left. Yeah, where it's warm. He went inside where it's warm.
He did.
And he's in there laughing.
Right?
Yeah. So speaking of Crazy Laser Dad, as you can see, we got a great welcome. Welcome home from rehab, Mom and Dad. It's me.
I'm all grown up
now. Yeah, that's what we got coming from the airport.
He was asking me. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
We said you keep it a Crazy Laser Dad freezer.
Yeah.
Racks of meat in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You age less that way.
You know what's great now for this one?
What?
Not only can they hear us because we got the speaker,
yeah,
like our last live,
right?
But we have a camera for the audience. So
we do.
All of you guys will be on.
There's no they can't hear them though if they talk back.
I think they can hear a little bit.
Yeah,
it's echoey in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for on YouTube, they won't be able to hear.
I don't know. We'll
Maybe.
see what the mics pick up and what they don't. Next, you're gonna want me to mic the audience too.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I get.
So Will was texting me a bunch at the airport, like, oh, yeah, I think, and he did it pretty well. I wasn't completely on to him, but he was like, oh, well, yeah, you still have to take the tram. And, you know, he was like, oh, are you guys off the plane yet? You forgot to turn that one on?
Huh? Oh, it was an afterthought. I just thought about it. Sitting here on the thing, I might as well.
So he was like, oh, you guys off the plane yet? You know, whatever. And he was asking a bunch of questions, but I was keeping him posted so he knew, like, to drive around or whatever if he was waiting. And then we get to the escalator. And the way the escalator was, I saw the sign first and then Will. But we had to get closer for me to be able to read it. And then once I could finally read it, I was like, oh, that's funny. And then 2 seconds later, I see that it was him. And I was like, God damn it, Will. And then the guy in front of us, he actually like turned around because he figured out that it was us. And he goes, is that true? No.
Yeah. You know how you can tell we're not lying that it's cold in here? You can't see her hands. You can't see Crystal's hands.
No, I had them out for 2 seconds to play the intro, and I was like, are we done? I'm getting frostbite.
Yeah.
I almost left this hoodie, the new hoodie with the new logo that's on the back and the writing on the arm. I almost left it in the Orlando airport.
Yeah, you did.
We were literally on, what is that called? The little
jetway?
Yeah.
Is it a jetway?
I think so. The thing in between
the little tube
the airport to the plane. So we were like literally 10 feet from getting on the plane, and I was like, and I touched there was like a little guardrail or whatever in there, and I touched it and it was cold, and I was like, oh man, that's cold. And I was like, fuck, where's my hoodie? And I had left it where we were sitting in the
I had to go through everybody. Excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me. All the way be like, hey, can I grab the hoodie? It's right there. It was sitting on the chair over the back. And she's like, yeah, you're fine. So I grab it, and then I'm like, oh man, this is going to take forever.
So long.
And it's Southwest, so it's open seating. So I know she can't save the seat, and there's going to be turbulence on the plane. Be like, you can't save seats. Blah, blah. If you've been on Southwest, you know that fight.
Right.
So I'm like, God, how am I? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be that guy. Excuse me again. It's me again. Hey, excuse me. And she's like, I thought it was going to take you forever. I'm like, I did. Yeah, I cut the line. And then, of course, I played. I'm like, oh, she didn't wait for me. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to get it. Excuse me. So hopefully they recognize me from the first time and they're like, okay, if not, then I'm just that guy who
my anxiety could have
meanwhile I'm wearing all of our logo because we have the sweatpants, we have the new shirt, and I had the hat on, so I'm all logoed out. So
they could find you if they were annoyed.
Yes, they can. Yeah. And they can write hate mail on our YouTube channel, which I hope you do for engagement purposes. Because if you don't
I'll
like
cry.
the show, she'll cry. She reads the comments. I don't. I look at it as free engagement. So if you don't like the show, please tell us about it.
I'm trying to shift my
tell us how we can do better. Tell us what you don't like. Either way, tell us.
Right.
So that the algorithm keeps feeding it to you.
The last like half negative feedback, I was able to let it go a lot quicker.
Yeah,
it still gave me the initial killed the people pleaser in me initially.
Right.
But then I was like, you know what? I know everyone is not for me.
Right.
There's certain people I don't love or whatever. So I know that the same thing is for us as well. I would that would be very narcissistic to think everyone has to love me.
Right.
They should, but it's okay if you don't.
But it's okay because usually the haters are the one that pay closer attention.
Yes.
So
speaking of,
keep hating.
Maybe we should talk about that laser trolls group. That might be a good topic.
Or will we get in trouble?
By who?
I'll tell you off air. Huh? Who?
Oh,
I'm not going to say it on here. This is recorded. I'll tell you afterward.
But what if maybe I need to know before we start talking about it?
I'll cut it out. I can always edit it out. So let's talk about the trolls group, which is spicy apparently.
It's very spicy. So there's been a lot of, so they started it as a way that you could vent about laser stuff.
Right.
Whether it be customers or interactions with other laser businesses, but be able to freely say it because it is
and
true.
And be adults about it and be adults about it.
Right. And I mean, it is true that most of the groups, we don't allow those things because most of the time they just don't go over well. It's either you look bad because you're complaining about, another small business and not talking to them directly, or there's always, the two sides to the story. There's your side and then the business's side and whatever. And the negativity, a lot of us don't really want that in our group. They could also be our friends' businesses. So obviously we don't necessarily want that out there.
Right. And you don't know who's posting because it's all anonymous posting, right?
Yeah, it's all anonymous.
But the comments put your name.
You can be anonymous. You don't have to.
You don't have to be.
You don't have to post.
So if you want to be real spicy, you put your name.
Yeah, I posted as my name, but mine was a kumbaya post, and everyone was giving me shit about the.
Yeah, because that's not what this group is for.
I talked a little shit, but very little. But yeah, so and then there's the other part too, especially if you do it in the owners group, then you have all of their supporters and their fans will literally attack you. I've seen that happen several times.
Fair enough.
And I get it because they're just defending their friend or their company that they love. But yeah, so there was, I think it was actually in that group, someone had mentioned anonymously that they had met a podcaster 2 years ago and that podcaster was basically arrogant in thinking that, what do you mean you don't know me or
Can't
whatever?
Believe you told that to that person.
I would never. So I was like, I'm pretty sure we were the only, because several people had sent me the screenshots.
Right, because we're one of the only podcasts.
Right, and so
we thought anyway.
Yeah, and so we assumed they were talking about Dallas and us being at Dallas. And I'm like, that is not something I would ever say. Normally, I'm the opposite, and I'm surprised that you actually know who the heck we are.
Like this turnout.
Right. So, and I commented, and, I was for one, I didn't know if it was us, and I didn't want to assume that it was either.
Right.
I'm like, but, I don't think that was us because, we would be surprised on the other side.
Right.
And then I just said something
well,
even if it was us,
doesn't
that
sound
means that
it doesn't sound like the other one we know, Laser Everything, Alex and them. I don't think any of them would be like that either. Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I only say that I feel like they would be more likely to say that than us.
Huh.
But who knows? I don't know who it was. The anonymous person didn't really confirm or deny. Right. And then I was like, well, I hope it wasn't me because I'm a nice lady or something like that. And I started being joking. And then they replied, it wasn't you. And I was like, oh, thank God or something like that. I did a phew. like GIF or
they
whatever.
They could have lied to you.
Huh?
They could have lied to you.
Well, then that, I keep assuming it's a she, but then that person turned around and said, or was it?
Yeah,
and I was like, stop it.
See? Lied.
But then someone else in the comments did comment and said, oh yeah, the podcast that doesn't let the guests get a word in and
That
say
was
like
you.
a million times. I was like, shit, that
was
one's
you.
me.
Yeah.
Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than Crazy Laser Dad Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced, tested, and ready to use with your lasers. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for all your customers.
So, what are you waiting for? Visit crazylaserdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their laser-ready blanks.
The Riley Black Project is sponsored by Cuddle.xyz.
Cuddle lets you instantly generate personalized SVGs. Just type in the name, choose your options, and click download SVG. It's that simple.
I make tons of keychains and small items that require welding, node editing, connecting dots on the eyes, and the most tedious step, adding score lines. But with Cuddle, you just type the names and you're done.
Just go to the website, cuddle.xyz.
And use our coupon code RileyBlack for 10% off your first month or year.
And we have kids back there in the audience.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So
Maybe they can't hear us.
I mean, they're in their iPads, but they're here. They're present.
I mean, if they're anything like our kids, they hear nothing when they're in the iPad.
No, but I bet you those words they'll hear.
True.
They'll hear. They won't hear their names or
We
stop
went to
that.
this thing with mommy
Right.
and they
cursing.
kept cussing.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But yeah,
on the reverse
so-
side of that group,
Yeah.
is this, which is not only are we recording today, but it's also a meetup.
It is.
And we're selling thingies. So if you guys are interested in thingies, we have back there. They're for sale.
Help us pay for the
Yes.
flight and the hotel out here.
And if you're not already part of Patreon, we would really appreciate since you came all
That's
this way.
over there, too.
It's over there too. You can sign up and as low as $6.
He's can sell, and I just want to crawl.
Yeah, you get the episodes ad free, 10 days earlier. A lot of perks.
Yeah.
Exclusive discounts. Yeah, so join Patreon. YouTube. If you're watching this
She's
on YouTube.
on Patreon.
I wasn't talking. I was talking to the camera. No, not you. It's just.
No, but I was just.
I know.
You pointing reminded me of her, and so is Bree, of course.
Of course. So yes, join
And
Patreon.
Kathy. Hey, we have a few.
Yeah, we have a few Patreons here. So join in. Be like all the cool kids in here. And you at home, be a cool kid as well and join Patreon.
Yeah.
And help us make a living at this.
Well, and I mean, the meetups are something we want to do more
often.
because if you've ever been to a conference or a meetup, you know how getting those in-person like relationships, how like I became best friends with several people in the laser community before almost even like meeting them in person. So I had talked to Bree a lot before Next Level last year, and I had talked to Jess a lot before Next Level last year. But hanging out with them in person, like it kind of just like solidifies it for you, or you meet someone else that's similar to you, and then they become a friend because you met them at a meetup or you know whatever. Like Bree was excited Christina was coming because they had met at the previous one. And then, you know, we all talk online. We're all in the same, you know, 15 groups. It
totally feels like that moving from the groups to in person, because I remember when Jess was helping us set up the first time when we were talking and just in setting up and everything, it didn't feel like, I was like, wait, you guys didn't, especially you guys, because me, I'm terrible at like names. I'm great at faces, but terrible at names and like when we met and stuff like that. But I'm like, wait, this is our first time meeting? Like, because I hear you talking about her all the time. You know, you tell me, oh, Jess said this or Bree said that or whatever.
Right.
And then when we hang out in person, it's like, wait, this is only like the second or third time we like meet in person, because it feels like.
Because at APA.
Can I finish?
Sorry.
Shut up. I was just joking. I was finished.
So at APA, we're going to meet Cindy.
Oh, right. For the first
time.
Right. And now I know it's for the first time because we always joke around that we've never met in person.
So much so that I was so close to her, like through, you know, phone and like Facebook and stuff, that I actually questioned whether I had met her in person or not. Because like she's been on lives with us before. She's been on the podcast several times. we've had like FaceTime dates before, like, you know, on our iPhones. And so I actually like had forgotten that I hadn't physically met her in person.
Right.
And like I had to like think about like, have we met in
Right.
person?
Or
I couldn't
was the
remember.
last time?
And so at APA will be the first time that I'll meet her in person. And she's literally been
great.
like a laser friend and like a friend outside of lasers for years. So yeah, it's just, you find your people that way.
Yeah, it's great. And we're going to see. And then it's also like you see people more. And size doesn't matter. Because in Colorado,
I'm just kidding.
See, women always. it doesn't matter. Size doesn't matter because in Colorado it was what, like 6 of us.
Yeah, and
7.
I like, you know, I was a little like, oh man, we're doing all this work, you know, because
Well, we were going to Colorado anyway.
yes, but
was like
you know
cherry
how
on
hard
top.
it was to like to plan that because that Friday night that we did the meetup meant I wasn't seeing any of my friends,
Right.
I wasn't seeing any of
Right.
my family,
Right.
and we were only going for a short trip.
days,
So like we had to give up like an evening in order to meet with people, and then it was only like 6 people at first, and I was like, dang, like only 6 people care. but then when we went there, it was great. Like we had a great conversation with everyone who showed up.
Yeah.
We talked about, you know, just laser stuff. See, I did it. I tried
What?
really hard. I didn't say the
laser,
other word.
yeah. And there's a kid right there, like
Right,
it was
I know.
earshot.
It probably helped
with no
that
tablet.
I saw the pink
with
on the
no
side,
tablets, so she would have heard everything.
Exactly. I don't want them to go home and start repeating it and like,
Why?
oh,
It's not our
when
house.
mommy.
Which is great because we saw a baby on the plane, and she looked so, or he looked so cute.
He was so adorable.
especially since he was going home.
Right, exactly.
And
And he was on someone else's
we
lap.
weren't well rested, but we knew we could get some sleep at night.
Right.
That she's not getting any sleep.
No.
She was like, the baby was what, like months old.
Months, but
Maybe
like
a
I
year.
think newly crawling.
Right, yeah,
Because he was
so-
saying how he used to be able to get work done
Yeah,
from
not
home,
anymore.
and then now he can't
Yeah.
because the
So
baby started moving.
whatever that milestone is, I
Yeah.
forget already.
I don't know,
Yeah.
3 to 6 months
Whatever,
or
it
something
doesn't-
like that.
Yeah. It's
Was that a
baby.
sneeze? Bless you.
Yeah. Bless,
Well, like
please.
even speaking of Jill, who just sneezed, she came up to me and I knew like her face looked familiar, but I never know why.
Right.
And like I always assume from the groups. And she was like, "I'm Jill," and I'm like, "Cool, hi, Jill." And then she's like, "We really need to get on that thing." And I was
Right.
like, "We do."
What are you
What is
talking
it? And she was like, "The art." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." Like we've spoken like quite a bit, you know, in Messenger, but like I have to have all of those pieces line up for me to remember like from where or who. Because I always feel bad, like especially at the conferences, if I don't ever remember somebody that I met at the conference, it's so much.
Yeah. Conference is a lot, and I like running when I'm doing it, and I'm running. Like for instance, Bree.
Yeah.
When she came in, at was it? Yeah, it was the last one, Tulsa. Yeah. She came up. It's like, oh hey, this is. I'm like, oh hey, you know, because I'm. You gotta be friendly with everybody, and I know you watch.
Right.
I just can't. You know, I don't have. And then I'm not in the groups as much as you are, so I don't even know your thumbnail, your little picture, or anything like that. And then she pulls out the heads.
The skulls, yeah.
The skulls, the 3D printed skulls, not real skulls. But she pulls out the skulls. I'm like, oh, you're the skulls. All these are, because you told me that, you know, she was making the.
She was bringing them.
Yeah. So then I instantly put those two together. But it's kind of like that. Like, you know, you say hi.
Right.
Then the name kind of sounds familiar. The face definitely, for me, the face really does. But yeah, is the conferences.
Yeah.
Are, you know, it's a lot of people. You just meet everyone.
It's my
hard.
brain cannot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Remember them all, like unless you did something like, unless there was some
like the skulls.
unique moment, right?
Right.
And like I mean, especially you too, when you were at the Keychain Thingies booth, that was like
Right, I ran in the
poppin'.
booth and
so it was just like, you know, regular people coming through. What's going on?
No, I long pressed the DJI and it was gonna delete the recording. So
I
if you
do
have a
that every
DJ,
time.
that's the only thing I'm gonna give the DJI. I don't like that if you're recording something and it's a Pocket 3. If you're recording something and you long press in the middle of a record,
It goes delete.
It deletes the clip. So you gotta hit it once to stop it,
That
and
happens
then
to me.
long press to delete it. Yeah.
The other day I did 20 minutes of B-roll.
You thought you did 20 minutes of B-roll.
I did, and then I deleted
it.
it by
Yeah.
trying to turn it off.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it does give you a wheel. So like, I was able to stop because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But you probably thought, well, you thought it was powering down because I mean, it's.
Oh, true.
It
does the red.
wheel. Yeah. So yeah.
And it was like deleted, and I was like, no.
Yeah, gone forever.
It's like that work didn't even happen because I didn't record it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Next level this year is going to be insane.
Yes, it is. It's going to be, you all right over there?
No.
You good? Okay.
Hey there, podcast listeners. How great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape your 9 to 5 to embrace your lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Freedom to Create webinar, where you'll learn how to make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon Laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Freedom to Create webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
Are you tired of endlessly joining jump rings?
There's got to be an easier way.
Are your wrists aching after numerous orders? Introducing Keychain Thingies, the time-saving solution for anyone making keychains.
It's so fast and easy.
These revolutionary plastic thingies make large or multiple orders a snap. So easy, even a child can do it.
That was so easy.
So what are you waiting for? Go to keychainthingies.com and order now. Keychain Thingies will change your life. However, they should not be used to cure any medical ailments, repair broken relationships, or help lose weight. Do not use Keychain Thingies unless you want to save time and aggravation.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I keep making sure that I'm recording because it's a new setup.
Please do.
And yeah, I'd hate to do all this work. And again,
This has to come out next week for our patrons.
Well, if it doesn't, then the APA does. Hopefully.
That one's gonna be even sketchier.
Yeah, but yeah, next level is gonna be amazing. The space looks huge.
Where's Will's not
no,
here.
Will's
He
not
keeps
here.
leaving us.
Because it's too cold in here. He keeps going into the heat.
He's like, I want to see how long they all make it in there.
Yeah, right.
Until we all bundle up in
Yeah.
his office.
Yeah, but yeah, just the bigger group. We're gonna be up on a stage and like a lot more people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty.
Well, and at APA too.
Oh yeah, because I think that's gonna be more like this setup. I feel like maybe a little riser, but I think it's gonna be like a PodFest, like those little smaller, not like the main speaking.
No,
area.
it's not going to be the main. Well, and I don't know if we're going to be on the main speaking area for next level.
I'll work
either,
on it.
But it's okay if we don't. Well, so the problem is because it has to be like they lock it after the end of the day.
After our show, we can lock it.
You can talk to Mark and Will about
I will.
that.
I will. I'm gonna talk to them at APA.
Yeah, but the vendor room is huge.
It's humongous. I don't know how they're gonna fit everybody. I don't know how much space is gonna be in between because that's a huge. Did he post that or did he just send that to us?
I don't remember
picture.
if he posted
But it's
the
a
vendor
huge
area.
Yeah. Empty. It looks huge. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, and
gonna
the hotel is like a city in itself.
Yeah. It has a water park in it.
It does.
It's crazy. I can't
Although
wait.
I don't know that I'm gonna do any water parking.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
Laser
just
homies.
talking about the size. But I mean, maybe at night.
Nobody wants to see
after
this.
a few drinks.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Couple gummies.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll be allowed back after this one.
What?
Huh? Mark and Will with the laser. Like, oh no, that last one went too crazy. Your people,
Oh.
those laser people are crazy. They were all over the water slides after hours.
We would
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So
Okay, that actually sounds like a good time.
see, yeah.
Well,
Especially
until
after some drinks.
listen, slides though. Slides and like swimsuits don't always do well. And again, I don't want to be in a compromising position more,
I mean, hey, you want to go viral or don't you?
I don't. I don't.
mean,
It's
you
okay.
don't?
No.
Well, I'll go viral.
Okay.
I'll let the
yeah,
left
you're-
one slip out.
you're-
Got her.
Please not. No. What else do we have coming up?
I mean, the whole reason we're here is to go to APA in a couple days.
I know we were kind of crazy and
Yeah.
thinking about this, but I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good. It's
Yeah.
it's like I was saying yesterday. It's a good thing it's in Vegas because for us, it's definitely a gamble.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, just hoping to make back some of the money we spent.
We're gonna have a bigger crowd here than we are gonna have at APA. Because no one knows us there.
No,
well,
nobody.
A few people do.
Well, like so some of our friends are going.
Yeah, but
so
they
like,
have booths. They can't come to the show.
That's true. They can't come to the show. Yeah, because Melody with CMB, she'll be there.
Have a booth.
And then she'll be right next to me. And then Katie with Monarch Pine, she's next to her. Stan and Len, I don't think they have a booth, but they'll be at one Lasers booth. Come. Who else? Will and Mark will be there. They're actually doing a class.
I don't know who you pointed to because Will's not here.
I'm pointing in the direction of where he was previously.
Now the kids watching.
I know, no pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course,
he's chilling in the
right?
warmth.
He's thawing out.
Yeah. He wouldn't bring the space heater over here for us, but he's got it over there.
Yeah, so Mark and Will will be there. They'll be doing a class, and then they have a meetup scheduled as well.
Yeah, we were gonna have Will on the show with us. That's why his sign is taking up his seat.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be on episode 200. So
in a couple weeks.
There's gonna be too much Will.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is episode. Well, no, this is just bonus, right? No, this is episode 197.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because APA may or may not come out.
Yeah.
Like it just depends on how much editing.
We don't know where that's gonna go.
We don't know when it's gonna be, or if I'm gonna be doing it from the airport or not. But
that's crazy. Like just the fact that we're like hitting 200 episodes is,
and the fact that we're on the road. We're not in our garage anymore, or on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All this started on the couch with
That's weird.
With an idea. Hey, are there any laser podcasts?
No, I don't think so.
We should do one.
What?
Yep. And now we're approaching 200.
What was that? How many did we think we were gonna make? I don't know. How many did you?
I
didn't
really
have a number.
I didn't have an idea. I didn't know like how far it was gonna go.
Yeah.
I didn't. I honestly, on my end, I just really wanted to do a podcast and see how I liked it.
And the pessimistic side of me, and the like, I don't know, because I've never really felt like I was any kind of like laser expert. Like all of this just kind of happened accidentally. The course that I made was because Emily and Heather bullied me into it, like that kind of stuff. So I was like, who's gonna want to listen to me? Like I don't claim to like know more than anyone else or anything like that. And we were fairly new then. It was only like 2 years in when we had started it.
Yeah, you were 2 years in. I was not even
you were newbie.
Yeah, I didn't know
you weren't
anything.
even doing anything with the lasers.
At all.
So
oh, we had our first walkout.
right.
Hey, they made it 25 minutes.
So we recorded 5 episodes before we told anybody about it.
Yeah.
And then those 5 episodes I sent to Amanda Levitt, Mindy Sue, Emily, probably Heather, but I'm sure she didn't listen because she doesn't listen. So I sent it to a few, mostly them. I forget who else.
Right. Your inner
my
circle.
Close, my close inner laser circle at the time, and so.
Oh, we just got an order.
I sent it to them and I wanted their feedback, and Amanda was like, I'm seriously waiting for the next episode. And I was like, really? Like, really?
Well,
are you sure?
Because we have 5.
And well, we had sent them, I think, the first few.
Oh, the first few.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she was like, oh no, it's actually really good. And I was like, okay, are you just saying that because you're my friend? Or was it actually like, should we still do this?
Right.
And they're like, yes. And I was like, okay, don't lie to me. And then funny story, the first episode we recorded how many times? 3?
I don't even remember.
3 or 4?
Oh, right. Because first time, I think, I can't forget, like I didn't hit record.
He didn't hit record, one of them.
Yeah.
One time I think the recorder actually failed us.
Yeah,
but I think two of the times was he forgot to hit record.
Yeah, I was notorious. If you know how bad I am to intro people, that's how bad I was to hit record.
45 minutes in on like the second or third time we recorded it, he goes, you're going to kill me. I was like, you didn't. And he was like, I did.
That's why you see me now at home. At home, I'm
Triple
confident
check.
because it's our space. But when we do something like this, I'm constantly like, is it recording? Good. Is it still recording? Good. Are the cameras recording? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that is doing all of it, and then you're like, all right, let's rewind that. That was a good.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Good practice, Warren.
But yeah, it happened to one of our guests too.
Yeah, that's the worst one.
Ashley Staples and.
Is that who it was? I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I remember we had to record that one twice.
Yeah.
That was
Not
awkward.
good.
Whoopsie.
Yep. So now I have redundant recordings.
Yeah.
Except for today because we're here. Usually the computer is my backup to the recorder, but there's no computer here today. So hopefully
living on the edge.
Yep. Hopefully it's all recording here because if not, then there's no episode this week.
Yeah.
So
I just had a thought and it was gone.
And it's gone. ADHD. Gone.
Gets me.
Yeah, and that's why you interrupt people because you have to make sure that the question comes out when.
Well, because if I don't ask right away, it's gone.
Right.
And then like Will, I was impressed one time when we had him on the podcast. I saw him writing stuff down. Right. But if I'm writing stuff down, I'm not listening to what you're saying, so I can't do both.
Right.
So
you just by the way,
tend to interrupt. I try to make it a timely interruption, like when they're done with that thought. But sometimes that's
not what that comment
happen.
person said. So,
well,
yeah.
Sorry, person.
Yeah.
I apologize. I am trying to get better.
Right,
and so like when we went to PodFest, we went to PodFest in January. It's
still January.
Oh God. No, it's not. It's February 1st.
No, it's January 57th.
Yes, it is. But they were talking about a lot of different like email styles and how to like get better, with email styles. Is that what I just said?
Yep.
Wow. Podcast interviewing styles. That's what I meant.
You said that because
there was a lot of email stuff.
Well, our biggest takeaway from PodFest was to grow the email list.
Yeah. But we're always trying to improve. We're trying to just adding value, trying not to take too long to get into the introduction so that people don't leave immediately because it's something crazy. Like you have 10 seconds to
15.
grab their, and our intro is 11. So hopefully they're dancing and
that's why we do that clip at the beginning. And we
show them how much fun we are.
One of the biggest, or how much fun our guest is.
Right.
Because that usually runs like between 15 and 30 seconds, depending on how good the moment was.
Right.
At the beginning.
The teaser.
To catch them. And then you have to sit through our long intro, but it's a jam. So now it's a jam. Before it was now it's a jam, and we put video to it and stuff. So just making it better.
Yeah.
Day by day.
I'm impressed that we have been this consistent for this long.
I'm impressed that we've gone 30 minutes.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because we had no idea what we were going to talk about.
That's true.
We never do, really.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the reason why we have guests, because when it's us, we have to do all the heavy lifting.
Right. Although there's some guests that we have to work. No, they're not. We love them all.
They're all great guests. I'm not talking crap about our guests because they give us content.
They do. Well, and I mean, so one thing we were talking about when we went to PodFest was, so a lot of people who have podcasts are interviewing people who've likely been interviewed or been on podcasts before.
Usually they have something to push, like a book, or because a lot of podcasters are book people, so they have authors on, or they're pushing something,
whatever.
And the people that they interview are on like a media tour,
right?
So they have these key points and stuff. We interview people
small
who
businesses
sometimes they're not even, they don't even do a lot of content because they don't want to be on camera,
right?
So
and then
hard.
We're like, hey, you want to be on our video podcast? And
right.
like,
so
no.
It's hard. So it's like that, and then it's like, oh, I'm on a podcast, and it's easy for us to be like, oh, it's just a conversation,
right?
Because we're 200 in,
right? But I also said hell no to video when we first started.
Right.
So yeah.
So it's a big ask for a lot of people, and then the nerves of, oh, what are we going to talk about, and this and that, and we go through that every episode.
We do,
especially when it's just us, and we're in front of a live studio audience.
What should we talk about next, guys? Any suggestions? No.
Nope. See how hard it is? This isn't easy up here. It's not easy.
Huh? I know, right? It really is too cold to think.
I mean, so since this is a 2-part this week, because this one's gonna air regularly. Depends on if you're on Patreon or not. What? Honestly, when this is gonna air for you, because if you're on Patreon, you get it.
10 days earlier.
I know, but I'm trying to do the math because it'll come out Friday. Is it this Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
This Friday.
So next Friday.
It'll come out like right I think that's the last day of APA.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you listen the day it drops on Patreon, this comes out on the last day of APA, and if not, it's 10 days later. And APA
Whatever
was
that is.
weeks ago. So
Yeah.
that's why you need to join Patreon.
Nobody wants FOMO.
Right. So that
Sorry, Bree.
So that for next level, when it comes around, you definitely want to be a Patreon by next level, because that we're gonna do the tour, and you're gonna be 10 days behind all that. So you want to be a Patreon.
Yeah, you don't want to lag behind.
Yeah.
So what else have we talked about? How our goal for the year is email lists and all that.
Well, I just kind of talked about that was one of our biggest takeaways from PodFest.
Yeah, but did we talk about it on the podcast at all? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it's hard because we do the after darks. Then
I know they all blend together.
Then it's the extended version, the extended interviews.
Well, and then we talk to them after we stop recording, so we don't know.
So go ahead, talk about email lists and the importance of emails.
So, well, I fought an email list for a long time. I remember Heather had joined something from Amy Porterfield, and it was like List Builder. And she was like, oh, I'm doing this so I can grow my email list. And I was like, oh, cool. That's great for you. I hate email. So no, thank you. And then we were doing our course, and you really had to do like the emails to grow it like while you're creating everything for the wait list, so that they knew and saw the message when it was, finally for sale. And then just as like it was that's Amy's main like marketing tool is email. So of course, when she's teaching you how to make a course, she's going to tell you to do an email list. So I did it for that. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. It makes sense. And then we watch a lot of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And I saw one episode where one of the businesses had something insane, like.
Well, they were all the sharks were kind of like just
going
not
through,
really
interested.
Not interested.
And then he said, how many?
I think it was like 2,500.
No.
I'm sorry, 25,000.
It was at least 25,000, if not like 100,000.
And you see all of them readjust
like
in their
They're
seats.
like, excuse me?
Like, your email's what? They didn't care any more about the business and what it was.
No, they just wanted his email list. Yeah, and so they were. That was another moment that I was like, oh, okay. Well, if they are like salivating at this guy's email list, I see how important it is. Right. But then it's hard to know like. There's a lot that goes into it. Like there's legal stuff. You have to you have to do the opt-in. They have to easily be able to unsubscribe. Right. You have there's just so many different things that you have to know. And then sequences are recommended. Okay, you get them on the list.
It's a lot like,
and then following up with them.
I feel like it's a lot like because I'm creating one for the video side.
Yeah.
Just now, and it feels a lot like doing a course, especially for the automation, because there's a lot of setup leading up to like how frequent. So like, will they get it in because you can pick how frequently your next one comes. So is it gonna be like weekly? Is it gonna be monthly?
Yeah.
Is it whatever it is? So it's like the lead in to get them to subscribe, which is usually like a freebie.
Yeah.
And then your sequencing. So you have to do all the setup. But luckily, then all you gotta do is post and talk about your email list and join the list, especially if you have a freebie.
Right.
Which did you like that PDF I created for the show? Mm-hmm. So I created
for the show.
One. Yeah, for the the PDF I created. It was like the first one I created right after PodFest. The hacks. The five hacks or whatever.
Yeah.
So I created that with help of my buddy, my personal assistant, ChatGPT. So created just basically I think it was 5 or 10. I don't know how many hacks.
Yeah.
But 5 hacks, laser hacks, PDF for us to do give us your email and we'll send you this downloadable PDF.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Well, and I remember I was talking to Bree once because I had sent out an email. I don't remember what the email was because mine are very sporadic. They're like maybe every 3 to 6 months when there's just something new going on. Usually it's, oh, hey, I'm part of Laser Maker Con, or hey, I'm part of Conversations Behind the Laser. There's no newsletter. There's no something every couple weeks or even monthly. And it's funny how every time I send them, so if you do an email list, which I highly recommend you do if you don't already, if you're sensitive like me, those unsubscribes, they sting a little bit, because like sometimes like I would send them and it would be a free file, and I was like, I sent you free stuff. Why did you unsubscribe? So mean. And because I'm also the like, it takes a lot for me to unsubscribe. Mm-hmm. Like, unless you're sending me like repeated, like you unsubscribed from one the other day because they sent you like 3 or 4 emails a day or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
they were. It's the group. So the PodFest is linked to a app where people can all communicate. But I would get emails of, this went on in the app, this went on in the app. So it's like several a day. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna unsubscribe. Meanwhile, I'm part of like 2 or 3 video email lists. I never open them. But because I never open them, I haven't unsubscribed from them. Yeah. Because I just highlight it and delete.
Yeah, I just scroll past or delete it.
Which goes to,
but it takes a lot.
It's not too much because I have some which you would think I should just unsubscribe because I don't open them. Right. And they do every time. I'm like, oh, another email from this person. I just click it and delete. Yeah. But I don't unsubscribe.
Right. And so that's why I get so offended when they do unsubscribe, because I take everything personal.
Because you don't send enough.
I know.
You gotta hit them up every week.
That's what Bree said. She was like, it's actually sometimes when you send them infrequently, when you just show up like,
oh, here's Crystal. Let me unsubscribe. I don't like this.
I haven't been here in 6 months. Here, buy something. Right. Then they're like, cool, goodbye.
Yeah, buy my services.
Which is it's counterintuitive in a way that like, oh, if I send you more of them, my brain goes, oh, then more people are going to unsubscribe. Nope, but it's kind of the other, right. They just get used to me wearing them down. Yeah. Finding because you can do too much.
Right.
Yeah. So Kathy said it's like a Goldilocks thing. You have to find like that perfect recipe, which then again, that makes it hard. And I'm like, cool, I just won't. But I'm trying. I mean, so all the stuff that's been going on with social media and stuff, how bye Christina.
Later. Our first official walkout.
She warned me though.
Okay.
But just with everything with the social media and stuff, like you don't own the followers on Instagram. You don't own the followers on TikTok. You don't even own people in your face. I mean, you don't own people. Nobody owns people.
No, it's frowned upon.
You don't own
we
the
did away with that a
customers
while ago.
in your Facebook group and all that. Like that can be gone in an instant. And if something happens, email is the one reliable thing that you can contact them about. If something happens to your Facebook group or your Etsy or whatever, Etsy is another one, you don't own those emails and you're actually not allowed to use those emails for email marketing because it's through their system.
Because they're email marketing them.
Exactly.
So they don't need another one.
Right. So that's why an email list is important, because it's your one, like it's kind of like your direct content to them, contact to them if something happens on TikTok, Facebook, whatever. And we've all seen it go down and not know when it's going to come back up. And TikTok, I don't think any of us thought that it would only be 17 hours.
It's funny because when we went to PodFest, one of the classes
that we
was
went
on
to.
how to grow your TikTok.
How to grow your TikTok
on Saturday.
Right.
And
when it was going down that night. And so there was literally like, I felt so bad for her because there was like, it was probably about 10, but in that huge room, the 10 felt like 3. And she was talking about like how she grew TikTok, and she was like, and we went because we didn't have there wasn't another talk that we wanted.
We didn't have anything to do, so we just sat inside. We didn't.
But, we figured that like whatever she did to grow her TikTok, it doesn't necessarily have to be unique to TikTok. You can do those same things on the other platforms. And so that's why we still went.
Well, and not to, it's going to sound political because of what it is, because it happened the day before the inauguration. Right. And he had already said that he was going to be in talks with them. Right. So it's like, it might go away for like a week or something. It's going to come back, not like the next day. I didn't think it was going to be that quick.
Yeah. But that's what she was saying. She was sure.
Yeah, that it would be back in some form, probably. Right. So it was good to sit in there because a lot of people who missed out, now it's back and they're like, oh, I should have gone to that,
Right. But it was funny to see not funny. This sounds mean, but like all the
disconnect my mic for a minute.
All the TikTokers who were like crying about it leaving, and then it literally came right back up. And there's a couple reels on Instagram about like how awkward like people were coming back.
Right.
Like, hi, the last thing I posted was me bawling my eyes out.
I was crying, but here we are. We're back again.
I was crying 17 hours ago, but hey, we're all back.
Hey, remember that time we all cried at the same time? And now we're back.
Right. But yeah, it just goes to show you have to, there's so many freaking hats that we have to wear as business owners that we just need to make more money so we can pass the hats off to other people.
In the meantime, use ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. If you're not, I fought it for so long and I was like, no. And because I struggled, I didn't realize that I struggled with the prompts. I didn't know what to prompt it.
Literally, if you're struggling, you literally just talk to it like it's a person.
Yeah.
And say, hey, I need this, and this.
Yeah.
Generate that. And then from there, you'd be like, make it, and literally you type in, make it more casual.
Right.
And then it'll come up
make
with
it
prompts.
Funnier
And,
is what I'm
or whatever you want to whatever you want it to do. Because that first prompt isn't it's not like a Google. Where you Google
That's what I was doing.
And then you have to find oh, well, that didn't work. Let me reword that.
Yeah.
No, just tell them, no, not like that, like this instead.
Yeah.
And it'll do it.
That's why I was struggling because when I first tried to use it, I was basically using it. I was talking to it as if I was like Google search terms, which is not the same way.
Right.
If you're too specific in Google search terms, you're not going to get anything that you're actually looking for.
Right.
And so when I was doing that, and then when I finally figured out, I saw examples of other people's prompts that they would use, I'm like, oh, I literally just tell it say this, leave this out, don't leave, that kind of stuff.
And if you're like me, you run into, you can't ask me any more questions because you're not paid.
We did,
so I'm subscribed to ChatGPT Plus now.
Yep,
because
same.
Because it is anything I use it for so she was my ChatGPT.
I was.
Because I can't write emails
guys.
I write it like caveman, I guess, is what they tell me.
No, zero emotion. So when he first started Riley Black Media, people would approach him or he'd approach them for, just trying to gain business or whatever. And they talk about business and they'd reach out to him and whatever. And the conversation, he'd send them the video and they'd be like, oh, this is great. And he'd be like, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
No period, or maybe there was a period. I was like, can you add some exclamation points in here? And so he would literally send me what he was going to send.
You have no idea how much trouble and how many bad grades I got because of my grammar in school. Because English.
Really?
No, seriously. That's why it's I make sure it's a complete sentence. It has the correct punctuation. This news-ish.
I would. With you still struggle with commas though. I would add some commas.
I do because it's all run on sentences. And that was a big thing that I got bad grades on. But anyway, that is instilled with me. So this, with the bunch of exclamation, I'm like, no, I don't. It's not. No, it needs a period.
Yeah, you need to be excited.
Structure.
You need to be I'm excited to work with you. Period.
Yes.
No, exclamation if you're excited.
I'm not yelling at them.
Caps is yelling, not exclamation
caps
points.
Is just wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Yeah, but now ChatGPT.
No, it doesn't matter. I got ChatGPT now. It knows all that.
Yeah. Well, and ChatGPT does add some exclamation points and stuff for you.
They add little pictures,
emojis
and stuff. It's great. ChatGPT is amazing.
It really is. And it took that job off of me.
If the two of you asked it the same thing, how different would...
Ooh, we'll have to test that.
Yeah.
Well, you can do it now
in your voice.
Yeah. So what you do is, so you do your ChatGPT prompt, right? And then if you say, okay, now say this in my voice, you give it ChatGPT things that you've written. And you send it to them, and then they adjust how it's written
and it remembers
in your kind of your cadence or your style. So mine is always super casual, loose, and to me it's my ChatGPT right now is a little uptight. So I'm always make it funnier, make it more casual, make it less serious.
Yeah, and the more you use it, the more it learns because even when I do things for the podcast now, I don't have to say, I say, oh, on this, for our newest episode on the podcast, and it'll put in the Riley Black Project in whatever I ask it without me saying for Riley Black Project.
Yeah.
Or if I say I need something for a video client, it'll put in Riley Black Media.
When I was part of a step bet challenge that Callie was doing, so I had to get 7,400 steps a day. And then on most of the days, on like 4 days, and then on maybe 5, whatever, it doesn't matter. But there was one day it was like 9,400 steps. And so it'd be the end of the day and I'd have like 3,000 steps left, or I needed to know how many steps I needed to get in of like every hour. I would ask like ChatGPT, how long is it going to take me to get in 3,000 steps? And it would be like, oh, at this pace, it'll take about this long. And I'm like, okay, at a slower pace because I'm slow. How long will it take?
At 3.0, at 3.0 speed on the treadmill, how long will it take?
Yeah, literally.
And it'll tell you.
And it would. And you'd be like, oh, 35 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. Okay. And so I get on. And I've used it once. I think I asked it for chore ideas for JR.
Right.
Yeah, I use it for pretty much everything now.
You. Oh,
bless you.
She's allergic to the show.
It happens. We're not for everyone. I'm learning.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, to have it remember. Yeah. She really is allergic to us.
Yeah. or ChatGPT, because she wasn't seeing until we started talking about AI. She's allergic to AI.
Yeah. Oh, really? So I remembered the first time I realized that it remembered like the things I said before was when I was asking it for ideas on something for the new podcast whenever we start that one. That's not laser. Well, yeah, but that's like next week.
Okay.
So we have to hurry up.
We just say record one.
That's true. But when I had asked it something about like ideas for the podcast, it gave me laser podcast suggestions. And I was like, oh, no. And at first I was like, oh, you remember things I tell you. And then I was like, wait, no, not for the laser podcast. I had to like clarify that it was a different podcast.
But it's great that it remembers because like now you might have noticed if you're paying attention that the titles have changed. How we do our thing, and that's we learned that
we've improved our
we learned
our
it from
titles,
PodFest, and then I used my personal assistant ChatGPT to do it for me.
Yeah.
But it's good that it remembers because it'll remember. I ask it for give me 10 based on this 10 transcript.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that it won't really double up because it remembers the 10 that it sent previously along with it. So it's good that it remembers.
You get the transcript from the podcast from ChatGPT as well, right?
No. I pull it from editing.
Okay.
I'm not going to upload the whole episode to that. No.
That's true.
No. And then also I've learned you can't upload. I don't know what the size of the file is or the PDF,
limits.
but there's limits. So now I only use the free version because that's an hour long and part of the interview. Okay. And also I don't want to give away too much.
Right.
So I only do the free version. I transcribe that and then upload that, and then I get title ideas and stuff.
Yeah, that's good to know. So actually, like, I remember one of the questions.
A little secret sauce of how we come up with stuff.
One of the questions Heather, Emily, and I got for the course was we were actually surprised how many people asked if we would have captions on our course. Mm-hmm. And we're like, unless it happens automatically, no.
Right.
Because that was just so much extra that we couldn't like plan on doing. But if they watched the video through like a certain kind of like where you don't add the captions and the transcript to Facebook videos, but it automatically does it for you. Right. I think there was a way that they could download it and then put it somewhere to get the captions. Right. But then it kind of sucked for them because then they'd have to download all that material when they wouldn't have normally.
Tell me and I can put captions in, especially LEDs because I just get those.
Yeah, but it was just
transcript.
something that they had asked us that
Right.
at the time ChatGPT either wasn't around yet or it wasn't like widely known yet. So we didn't think we couldn't even add
Right.
captions easily. And we had like, we Googled it and everything to see like how hard it would actually be. And it was like, it was just another software and we didn't want to add
Right.
another layer on
Well, I
everything
don't know.
we were
I
already
don't know
doing.
your editing software at the time, how that was, but it's been around for editing softwares for a while.
Yeah,
Because
I don't know. I use
captions is something
Camtasia.
because captions is something that is very like regular within video editing.
True.
So it's been an option.
That's true.
I
It might
haven't
have
used
even
it
been
personally,
in Camtasia.
but
it
until
might
I
have
started
been
doing
extra.
reels, until I started editing reels, I never used the caption portion of the editing software, but
Right.
it's in most of them.
Yeah,
So,
it's probably there. I just
Yep,
didn't
you
even
just
know.
didn't know.
Or it wasn't in my version and I probably would have had to buy the expensive version, which I was unprepared how expensive stuff for the course was going to be. Like the software, the host that I use for the course is $1,900 a year. So like $150 something a month. So towards the end, I was like, I haven't made any money yet. I don't want to do
20% off.
I did
Sign
that
up for
this
the
year.
course,
I got the email that it was going to renew again, and I was like, "Cool, course sale!
Yep.
Please buy this so that I can keep the course going."
Well, and that's how we fill an hour, people. We were about to shut it down at half an hour, and here we
Right?
are, 53 minutes
You
in.
got to pull it out. That sounds wrong. Okay. Anyway,
Can't do that on camera. Then
Sorry.
we definitely won't be monetized on YouTube.
right?
Yeah,
It happens so easily. That's why we just do that. What? Talk about food now. I know
That's
this is
only-
how we
nope,
end.
That's how we end.
Every
every
after
After
dark
Dark.
is what snack
Yes.
are we gonna have?
So, if you want to be part of those after darks, you guys sign up for Patreon. You see how I do that? You see how easy? You
It's
just gotta
so
weave
easy,
it in.
and I still
You
just
gotta
wanna-
weave it in because those after darks are most of them, except for how many
What?
a year, are exclusive
Oh, so we
on
do
Patreon.
like 3
you
or
schedule
4 a
this.
year that are for everyone.
Right.
And then all the rest of them. So we're trying to do them once a month.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
join Patreon as low as $6 a month. And don't do it through Apple because they'll charge
Oh my
you
God.
a 30%.
So Apple
increase.
actually got
They
me
got you.
the other day. So, and I knew this. I should have known better.
Yeah.
But so Apple, say you sign up for our Patreon and you have an iPhone. It's $6 a month goes to
or
us.
iPad probably same thing.
Right. But any Apple products, if
Yeah.
you sign up through their iOS system.
Ooh.
What?
What if someone only has a Mac? Oh, you guys got to pay 30% on everything.
No, I think if you do the web version, you should be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just do it on the
it's-
computer.
Okay.
I don't think it counts if
I
it's
just thought
Safari,
about
but
that.
we should check
Yeah,
that
I just thought
actually,
about that.
because that would really suck.
Yeah.
So they sometime last year they implemented a 30% iOS fee. So this goes for any app
Third
you sign up
party,
on your
yeah.
phone. If it's not an Apple app, ChatGPT just got me. I asked too many questions in one day, so I had to sign up for ChatGPT Plus, and it was $19.99 or whatever a month. And I was like, oh, okay. I signed up, and then I get a notification on my phone of subscription added $25.99 a month because I signed up on my phone. So now I need to cancel my ChatGPT on my phone
Right.
and go try and set up on the web version so that I don't have to pay that 30%. So like you think that you're signing up and it's $6 to support us and it's going to charge you whatever 9%.
Where's
or,
Will? Well, how much is
How much
what
is 30% of $6?
$30?
So it's
Damn,
going to charge
was
you
quick with that.
$7, right? It's going to charge you basically $8 a month,
Yeah.
and that extra $2 doesn't go to us.
No.
It goes to Apple.
Yeah, so go on the
So-
computer and sign up for the $10 a month
Yes.
for a month.
Or $25, and you get a free shirt in your second month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathy, I have a shirt for you.
No.
Don't
yeah.
let me forget.
Yeah. So I think we told you to subscribe to Patreon.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things, and I think it's
I know, right? Well, so we do, but we didn't bring any
we
to
didn't bring
sell.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
So if I
But
gave you one,
pre-order.
I'd be stealing
You
it
can
from someone else.
You can pre-order.
Right? I know we should have. If Will would have told me how cold it was,
Yeah.
we could have made some money by just bringing
Right? We would have.
some extra layers for people.
Yeah, and then they would have been forced to buy it.
Right?
Great.
That's smart. We should do that at a future meetup. If it's cold at a future meetup, you know what we're doing.
And you see our sweats on sale. Like we have more sweats than t-shirts. You know it was on purpose.
Blankets. Ooh, that's one we didn't think about.
You know what we could have done too? Raincoats, because it's raining outside.
Ooh,
we would have made a killing off of these people with raincoats.
So our new merch, speaking of, I can talk about because I love them so much. So two that we tested for us, but we didn't do in the pre-sale was we did long sleeves and we did sweatpants.
Long sleeves weren't an option?
No, you freaking added that when I was ready to submit the order.
I also added the sweats.
You did. Yeah, which I thank you for adding them both because they were nice.
But
I was
I have
like,
some good ideas sometimes.
we were done with the pre-order, and I was like, how many T-shirts do you want me to add for you? And he was like, can I get long sleeve? And I'm like, no, that wasn't on the list. But then I was like, okay, fine. So I ordered him 2 long sleeve, and then I kind of wanted a long sleeve as well because it's been cold for like 2 months in Florida, unseasonably cold, and I actually had to borrow a couple of his long sleeves because it was like cold enough for a long sleeve, but not cold enough for a hoodie.
Right.
And so I ordered one and I'm wearing it now and it's so comfy. Yeah. It's like perfect Florida long sleeve because they're like a thinner material. So it's not too hot.
Too hot. And it's great loungewear. Not that I'm trying to sell a product.
Right.
But
and the sweatpants the sweatpants are super comfy.
And if you have our hoodies already, or if you guys want to feel the hoodie, not mine that I'm wearing. We have some in there. What? No, you can feel. Yes, you can feel. But it's not like a super dense hoodie. It's not like
they're so soft.
It's not made for like real cold. It's made for like Florida cold.
They're so cozy.
But they are really cozy.
Yeah.
And the sweatpants are the same way.
Yeah.
So
they feel the same.
I wore them. It's great now. It's my new uniform for the airport because I wore the sweats along with the long sleeve, and man, it was great. It was perfect.
You looked so comfy.
It was perfect.
So who's going to next level? Do you think?
Perfect. You guys need.
We're gonna do the Riley Black Project pajamas.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a slumber party thing.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna be probably black and white flannel, and then we'll put a red logo on them, and then
so
take
if you
a
at
picture.
home are going, you can also pre-order that when we have that ready. Be on the lookout for that.
We'll open a pre-order. I'll probably do it today or tomorrow because I want a pre-order open for APA.
Yeah. And we already did we tell that to Southern Teas? Did we tell them about that?
What? The pre-order?
About our idea of some of that flannel.
Yeah, she was the one who actually told me that they had because we liked the loungewear so much. Not the loungewear, the sweatpants.
Yeah.
We liked those so much that she told us about the sweatpants because she does a lot of the not the sweatpants. I cannot speak today. She told me about the flannel pajama pants because I guess the high school. The schools do a lot of that, and a lot of the kids order the pajamas.
When you, again, not to sell a product, but when you do purchase our merch, you're also not only supporting us, but you're helping to support
the
local small business
printer
in our area because we get
awesome.
all of our merch from them, and they're really awesome.
And she's actually battling breast cancer right now. She just had her 3rd surgery.
Yeah.
The day we left actually for Sacramento. And they're awesome. So, and I just wanted to thank all of you guys for coming to see us or Will or whoever you came to. And you guys had to drive in terrible weather.
Yes.
It's cold. It's rainy.
And
there's lots of accidents. Like we appreciate
because there was
it.
traffic. It was almost everyone here. It was like almost an hour.
Yeah, about an hour. Even if they were closer, it took them an hour. Even if
2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh. You must really like us.
Right. Or him. Like someone. Yeah. Or they really needed out of the house.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Michelle's husband tried to make plans for them today, and she was like, no. I'm going to the laser meetup. And he was like, why? Laser community. Yes, don't hate. Yeah. See? Right, yeah. See, you don't get it until you go to one. You'd have to if he's a people person, you'll have to drag him like Jill dragged her husband. He's taking a quick siesta during the. Just kidding.
I've been there before.
Yes, you have. I drag you to everything.
Everywhere.
My support husband.
No, what is it? What do we? But body doubling. We just learned
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
I just learned about that.
Yes,
he asked
her
me.
body double.
He goes, "Do you body double?" And I was like,
I didn't ask.
What
you.
is that?
As soon as I saw the reel, I'm like,
Well,
that's me.
So then he sent me the reel,
Yeah.
and it's probably people who don't have ADHD probably do it as well, depending. But especially with ADHD, you have someone join you, and that will make you get the task done. And I didn't realize, but I've done that my whole life. My friend would come over and I'd be like, come over so I can fold my laundry. And they'd literally just hang out with me while I'm doing the thing that I've been putting off for forever and come over and help me organize. But I won't let them organize because I have OCD and I won't let them put anything away or whatever. And I didn't realize that it was called body doubling and that I do that with him all the time. I'm like, if I have to do keychain thingies or I have to do orders or I'm like, just hang out with me while I'm in there so that I can do it.
Which is more reason why we need to get a TV in there so I can watch TV.
Yes. We're going to get a TV in the shop, in the garage, so he can watch TV and just hang out with me while I do the things.
Yep.
Emotional support husband. Get you one.
Well, I think
it's a good time.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're all out.
Okay, bye.
So
Just kidding.
wow, that was abrupt.
Just kidding.
You
have to say your
I need
thing.
and I need some padding for our outro. You can't just put the camera down.
Sorry.
You know, with the whole and maybe we're all done. I need all that. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Anyway, there is no added. Well, no, there is still added bonus for Patreon. There's just no extended interview because there is no interview. But you still get it ad free and 10 days early. So thank you guys for all your support. Thank you guys for making the drive and coming out to see us. With that, it's been another great episode of Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done.